What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and today's show is presented by Prize Picks. We got a big time show coming up as the Chicago Bulls are making some roster moves before 2026 NBA free agency begins tomorrow. And then we will be diving into my top Bulls free agent targets on the back half of today's show. But the roster move number one that the Chicago Bulls officially made earlier today is that they have picked up Leonard Miller's $2.4 million team option for next season. Now, we all expected the Chicago Bulls to do this. I think this was an obvious move for them because Leonard Miller came to Chicago, played some good hoops. I think in the Ayo Dosunmu trade, the 4 second-round picks really headlined the deal. Then you also had Rob Dillingham, a former top 10 overall pick, and I think a lot of Bulls fans were more excited about Rob Dillingham. But for me personally, I was fired up to get Leonard Miller, a 6'10" wing who can run in transition, a good defender, and the potential is sky high with this guy. And he does fit in to really what Bryson Graham wants to accomplish. I mean, size, length, athleticism, physicality. Leonard Miller fits that bill, and then in 23 minutes a game, put up some good numbers for Chicago. Really, really good rebounder as well. Good at putting pressure on the rim. He has a very, very good first step. So for $2.4 million on a team option, I thought that was an obvious move for the Chicago Bulls. So Leonard Miller will be on the team this upcoming season. Curious to see if he does play in Summer League, though. I would probably want him to play in Summer League, but who knows? Maybe the Bulls just view him, this guy was ready to rock and roll for the season. But second-round pick from last year, Lachlan Olbrich, will no longer be with the Bulls, and he will actually join the Warriors Summer League team for this upcoming session here in a couple of weeks. So Lachlan, I thought this was necessarily just a waste of a second-round pick. Now, second-round picks in the NBA draft nowadays are like UDFAs or seventh-rounders in the NFL draft. But Lachlan, he appeared in 37 games this past season for the Chicago Bulls, but that was probably the right move. It didn't really view him as an NBA player. Probably top around in the G League. I could probably guess that he'll be back across the pond here probably next season. But this is what the Bulls roster looks like before free agency does open up tomorrow. Starting five looking like Josh Giddey, Dalen Swain, Buzelis, Wilson, and Nick Claxton at the five. They actually have a pretty solid bench with a lot of intriguing young players. Noah Senge, Trey Jones, Jalen Smith, Leonard Miller, Patrick Williams, Okoro, and Rob Dillingham. So that's a solid 12 the Bulls have, but they probably will be looking to add some more talent here in free agency. So we'll discuss those names coming up. But if you guys could, hit that subscribe button today. We're closing in here on 18,000 subs on YouTube. So if you guys are brand new and want some daily Bulls content, we're posting daily videos for the last 10 weeks. So hit that subscribe button today. Help us reach 18,000 subs. Just need 440 more of you guys to hit that subscribe button. So go down there, subscribe today. All right, so let's start off here with my top 3 Bulls free agent targets. And this is in no exact order, but number one here on today's show, we'll talk about Norman Powell. Now, we've discussed Norman Powell a lot. Really does fit the bill of a guy who could bring some shooting to this Bulls roster, which they desperately need, but also some veteran experience. Now, Norman Powell this past season for the Miami Heat played some really good hoops. He is obviously a very, very good three-point shooter. Shot it from 38% from downtown this past season. He's a very, very just solid veteran, like no-nonsense guy. He's with the Clippers organization for a while. Then he was obviously with the Heat this past year, and he's just a really good shooter, a guy who can, drop in 18 to 22 points every single night, and he puts up three-pointers a lot. 7.1 three-pointers attempted each of the last 2 seasons, while still shooting very, very effective from downtown. So if you want a veteran who can shoot the ball at a high clip, Norman Powell would be your guy. Now, if you want to go a younger option, honestly a younger version of Norman Powell, how about Quentin Grimes? Spent this last season with the Philadelphia 76ers, and Quentin Grimes, I've always been intrigued by him because he was a 5-star point guard coming out of high school. Obviously didn't play the point guard spot so far in his NBA career, but he's got a good handle. Really streaky shooter. This past season shot 33% from downtown, 5 attempts a game, but he's a better three-point shooter than that. He was just streaky. This past season had a lot of cold stretches, but he's a solid defender. He's physical. He can keep his chest in front of guys, really can cut off driving lanes as well. And I think he would be a player where the Bulls maybe give him like a 4 for 65 type of deal, and then he maybe outperforms that contract in a couple of years with more development in this Bulls organization. So Grimes would be another guy that I would have my eyes out on if I was calling the shots for Chicago. But you guys chime in for me. Who's your dream free agent target for the Chicago Bulls? Top 2 for me, Norman Powell, Quentin Grimes. Either of those two would have me pretty fired up. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now, I do want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. That is our good friends at Prize Picks. If you guys plug in that promo code HMA, we'll hook you guys up with $50 instantly on lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Now, Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. The app is really Easy use. All you got to do is pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Prize Picks is available in most states, including California, Texas, Florida, New York, and of course, Illinois. And it makes watching my favorite sporting events that much more enjoyable as I follow my Prize Picks lineup throughout the entire game. But whether you're a golf guy, soccer guy, basketball guy, hockey, does not matter. Prize Picks has you covered. And here's an example of a World Cup lineup that we were rolling with earlier today. So you guys could have fade those picks or tail those picks. Just do so at Prize Picks. Now they also have a feature that allows you to follow your friends and others on the app like you would on any other social media platform. You guys can follow me on that at Pat Sieps, the handle PATSIEPS to see all my lineups there. But sign up for Prize Picks with that promo code HMA. We'll hook you guys up with $50 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. All right, free agent target number 3 for me for the Chicago Bulls, Simone Fontecchio, guard of the Miami Heat. Now, he's an unrestricted free agent, but just a dead-eye shooter. Kind of fits into that like Max Strus, Duncan Robinson mold, which we've seen those guys come from the Heat organization. And actually, both those have had pretty successful careers outside of Miami. But Fontecchio, just a really, really good shooter. Very streaky. Started off this season scorching hot from downtown. I mean, Heat fans were calling him the next Duncan Robinson. And he did play like it. I mean, he was coming off pin down screens. Really, really, really effective movement shooter. Spent the previous season with the Detroit Pistons, with the Utah Jazz before. But this is a guy where maybe you give him like a 4 for $24 million deal. He's just a guy off the bench that can come in, spread the floor for you. Really good cutter. Can get picked on defensively, but solid option if you just want to add a pure shooter to this Bulls roster. Now, how about Rui Hachimura? Spent this last season with the Los Angeles Lakers, unrestricted free agent. Now, kind of fits in that Aaron Gordon old school 4-man role where he's going to add some physicality, be a good rebounder for you. But really, this past season for Rui and really the last 3 seasons, he's been lights out from beyond the arc. Now, he's not taking a crazy shot diet from 3 as he has been a guy that's normally just putting up 3 to 4 3-pointers a game. But over the last 3 seasons, I mean, shooting 40+% from downtown. And really this last year for Rui, that was the best year of his NBA career. He's not going to be a guy that's going to fill it up, give you 18, 20 points a game. But if you want a guy that's going to give you an efficient 12, 15 points a night, add some also veteran experience to this Bulls team, Rui Hachimura would be close to the top of my list in terms of forwards I would want the Bulls to bring in. Now, how about Tari Eason of the Houston Rockets, restricted free agent? Tari Eason 2 years ago was fantastic. He had a great year for Houston. Really, really good defender, good energy level, really good motor, good point of attack defender, and he's limited offensively, but he does fit that connecting piece on the offensive side of the floor. And, this past season for Houston wasn't as good as it was the year before. In 2024, you see his shooting percentage drop almost 7%, about the same from downtown. But a good rebounder, really hits the glass hard. I mean, averaging 6+ rebounds over the last 4 seasons. I could see a guy where the Bulls view him as maybe a potential starting 2 guard if you want Dalen Swain to come off the bench. So watch out for Tari Eason. Now you got Marcus Smart. Did not get his option picked up by the Los Angeles Lakers. Smart was really good for the Lakers this past season. When he got thrown into the starting lineup, we saw the Lakers team just really hit another gear. Still a streaky 3-point shooter. He'll never be a guy that's going to be ultra efficient from beyond the arc. But he'll still be a 33, 35% 3-point shooter. He's got all types of confidence. He'll put them up. Not the most efficient player overall, but still a very, very good defender. And I wouldn't hate the idea of him being the starting 2 guard for the Bulls. Warms that seat up for Dalen Swain. Once you feel Dalen Swain's ready to go to take over that starting position, move Marcus Smart to the bench. But Smart's another option out there. Now, how about John Collins? He's an unrestricted free agent. Kind of similar to Rui Hachimura. I just feel like Rui plays more, winning brand of basketball compared to John Collins. But Collins used to be a high flyer back in his day. Has really turned himself into like a stretch 4 currently in the NBA. But this past season with the Clippers, 27 minutes a game, 5 rebounds a night, efficient from the field overall, 55%. And still tacking in 13 points a game. But the last 3 seasons, his 3-point shooting's really taken another level. I mean, kind of similar to the numbers we just showed you with Rui Hachimura. He's not going to be a guy that's taking 7, 8 3-pointers a game, but tacking on 3, 4 attempts a game, going to shoot it about 40%. Wouldn't be a bad option for the Bulls. I would much rather have them pay Rui over John Collins because Rui's also just a better defender. John Collins, one of the worst defenders in the NBA, but he's out there as well. Now, I think the most intriguing option for the Bulls would be Benedict Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin was in the Zubac trade where he went over to the Clippers from the Indiana Pacers, but Mathurin for Indiana during that playoff run when they made the finals and took the Thunder all the way to Game 7, the guy was awesome. Really, really awesome. Like, he was able to beat guys off the dribble. He's got a really, really good bag, and I just don't know if Mathurin necessarily is. How much is he going to get? I'm assuming the Clippers can do everything they can to bring him back. But when he got to LA, wasn't the most efficient shooter, 31.5% from downtown, but still just a guy you could throw the ball to. Say, hey, go get a bucket for us. He could be that. And also, if the Bulls were to give him maybe a 4 for 80, probably banking on him outperforming that contract a couple years down the line. So I'm curious, even if it's not the Bulls, just general landscape of the NBA. Curious to see what types of offers Mathurin does have out there. But hey, free agency getting going tomorrow. Can't wait. Going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be live here on the channel. But if you guys watch this entire video, hit me with a C red down below in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys next time. As always, go Bulls.